Hi, friends and lovers of the musical language. Today, I want to talk about tonal harmony, and this is from page 35 of the theory book, which I use with my students. This is Snell and Ashleigh. I mistakenly sent this out to all of my students. It was only supposed to go to one, so now it's raised questions. So, page 35. We are going to talk about the triads of major scales. Okay, so the first thing is a triad is a 3-note chord. Chords can have more than 3 notes, so these are triads. So notice that all of these triads are in root position. Root position means that just like roots of a tree, the bottom note of each triad is the name of the chord. So up here you can see that we have C major scale. The key of C major has 0 flats or sharps in the key signature. You can see the difference here between E major and all of these sharps, and C major, there are no flats or sharps, okay? These names and numbers right here are talking about the tonal harmony of each chord in a scale, and they will never change no matter what key you are playing in. Okay, so notice that the shapes of all of these chords that you see right here and you see right here all look the same. They're just starting on different lines and spaces. So again, these are all in root position. The names of the chords are on the bottom or the low end of the piano. So each one of these names for these Roman numerals denote a certain tonal quality to the chord. So if I play these in C major, notice that my hand shape never changed, and my hand shape looked like the notes on the page. 3 notes stacked up on top of each other. Line, 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 space, 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 line, 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 space, 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 etc. So these guys, the 1, 4, and 5, are called primary chords in the key of C, C, F, and G. Again, the names of the chords are the bottom note in the root position chords. Okay, so those are primary chords. Notice that they all sounded major. And that is why we use capital Roman numerals. It means that the tonal quality of those chords is a major sound. Then we have some lowercase Roman numerals. Notice that those had a minor sound, so they are written in lowercase. So lowercase is a minor sound, uppercase is a major sound. Then there's this one weird one right here. It has a degree symbol next to it, and up here they give you the key for that. A diminished chord is a lowercase Roman numeral and a degree symbol, and it sounds like this. In the key of C major, the root position diminished chord is very easy to see on a piano. Notice that every key on a piano are half steps. Those are called half steps. This is a half step. This is a whole step. And there are 2 places on the piano where there is no black key in between 2 keys. And that's between notes B and C and E and F. So when we're playing these chords in the key of C, there is only one chord that has both No black keys right there. So these are half steps. So the rest of these chords have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes right here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, or we could go half step, half step, half step. 1, 2, 3 half steps to make a minor third, and 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to make a major third interval. Okay, so what do we have when we play this chord? We have 1, 2, 3 half steps. We have a minor third interval, and 1, 2, another minor third interval. So a diminished chord has 2 minor third intervals in it, and that's what gives it this weird sound. If we wanted to make this minor, a minor chord, we would play this note. Now we have a minor third interval plus a major third interval, and that is how every minor chord is formed in root position. If we wanted to make this a major chord, we would have a major third interval on the bottom, or 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps with 1, 2, 3 half steps on the top. So a major third interval plus a minor third interval. So that's how you form major, minor, and diminished chord sounds. Okay, back to the Roman numeral business. Each one of these Roman numerals has a name, and they're clearly listed right here. Tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant, submediant, the leading tone, and of course your 8th note in the scale is a repeat of the first note in the scale, only higher or lower. In this case, it's higher, okay? But it's the same chord. So you can see when we build chords, we're just taking a series of scales and stacking them up on top of each other. The bottom note of each chord is going to be your major scale in this case. So the middle note will sound like this. And the top note sounds like this. So clearly the middle note and the top note in their scale formation do not create major scales, and that has to go back to the half steps, but that's a whole nother lesson. So if this assignment is asking us to now label each triad of the E major scale with a Roman numeral. Okay, so it looks like these are all going up just like the last one did. They all look evenly stacked, just like up here. Okay, so we're just going to go tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant, submediant, leading tone, and of course repeat of the tonic. But this one is in E major, so the bottom note of the first and last chords are going to be E. So the bottom note is E, but notice that the chords all still look the same. So in the major scale, they're still going to sound the same. And because we're starting on E, this is why we have to have sharps right here, because there are formulas and patterns involved in music, just like in math, and you have to follow these rules. So we're going to start on E, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and major. So they still have the same tonal quality, just the home key is different. This time it's E. Okay, so answer 3 would be just copy those Roman numerals. It's the same thing. Okay, number 4 says label each triad of the F major scale with a Roman numeral. Okay, so this time we're in the key of F major. And you can see there's a B flat in the key signature. And also, we are working with the bass clef this time. Okay, so make sure that you watch your clef signs so you know what notes to play. Okay. All right, so this time we're way down here, and the first chord is F major. The bottom space note below the bass clef right here is F, okay? So when you're building these chords, you have to think of it in terms of the scale, okay? So the easiest way to do this is F, so this is gonna be 1 or home bass. Okay, now we wanna look for the next note up, which is G on the line, which is right here. So this is obviously gonna be 2. Then the next note up on the bottom would be A, that's 3. Now we're looking for the next note up, which is B, that will be 4. These are all major, as it says right here, so it's going to be the same Roman numerals for each scale step. Okay, so that was B. Now we're looking for C, next note up. That will be 5. We're looking now for D, 6, and E, 7. And remember, 7 is diminished, so we have to add our degree symbol there. Okay? Also, side note, when you play chords down here on a piano, it sounds so muddy. We typically don't usually play chords down there, but for this purpose, we're just gonna fill it in, okay? Normally, chords don't really go any lower than maybe C here. You would add a pedal tone, perhaps, to give it some nice bass ring, but we can hear the harmonies much better. And the same thing works when we get up here to the top. It just gets kind of muddy. All right, and so now in the last one, number 5, it's asking us to draw the triad indicated by the scale degree name. Label each triad with a Roman numeral. Okay, so now you can see that the scale degree names are up here at the top, right there, and we are in A major, also the bass clef. Okay, so we need to find the tonic. So the tonic is number 1. We'll just draw these in real quick. Tonic is number 1. The supertonic is number 2. The mediant is number 3. Remember, those are minor sound. The subdominant or below dominant is number 4. The dominant is 5. The submediant is 6. And the leading tone is number 7. That's diminished. Okay, so now we just have to draw in the notes. So we're in the key of A major, meaning that the tonic or the home tone is going to be A. We're in the bass clef. Because we have a key signature, we don't have to write any sharps or flats in. They're already there for us. Thus, the beauty of a key signature. So we don't have to draw in all of those accidentals. Okay, so tonic is right here. That's A. The easiest way to do this, actually, is to just find your scale steps because they're out of order. So where's 2? 2 will be B. 3 will be C. 4 is D. 5 is E. 6 is F. And 7 is G. And now we're in root position chords. We just simply stack them up on the lines or spaces just above these root notes. Skip, skip, skip. Remember, when you're doing root position chords, oop, I'm going to run out of room on that one. When you're doing root position chords, you're skipping. So in A, skip, skip, skip. And there's that C sharp. Okay, F, A, C, B, D, F, and C, E, G. Okay, so there's the completion of page 35 in Snell and Ashleigh Level 5 Theory Book on Triads of the Major Scale. Good luck.